Welcome back to another Canon Flash recap. After an unnecessary break from the powers that be, we are finally back with episode 14, subject 9. Okay, so this episode, basically, we got another metahuman that was on that bus that DeVoe is trying to get, and we find out that the body of the girl with the luck is deteriorating, and he needs to switch bodies again. And so that's pretty much what we have. So some negatives. This was not a great episode for me. I thought the whole thing was just bad. The whole main plot with this new metahuman, her not trusting them because she had her family abandon her, and then Ralph kind of bringing her around really quickly, and then her expectingly leaving for some reason. It was just too much. Everything was rushed. I felt like this was a plot line that you would have to play out over at least 2 episodes to make it believable, because, and this typically happens, she does so well portraying her mistrust of the team that by the time she switched, it seems a little too easy. And even Ralph calls it, like, I'm going to run into the hallway, give her the speech, and get her to come back. And he did. And it was stupid. I mean, I guess she was kind of flirting with him, but even still, nothing he said really would have changed her mind based off her points. And so I didn't like that. And then, basically they set up this idea that she leaves because Barry pushed her too hard, and Barry just went hard one time, and they made it seem like he was just torturing her. Once she finally leaves, there's Ralph's all upset, and he's just like, man, you pushed her too hard. You kept pushing and pushing and pushed her out the door. I'm like, he trained with her for 2 minutes, and she got hit and hurt her arm, and now she's leaving. Like, I mean, I guess I could understand her leaving at the first sign of trouble, but they made it seem like Barry had been torturing her, for weeks of training. And it was ridiculous. It was way too fast. And I don't know. I didn't like any of that. And then we get to the climax where we see DeVoe trying to take her body. And it was poorly done, to be honest with you. I mean, I still don't get how DeVoe can do that to Cisco. I mean, even before he had mind powers, DeVoe was able to shut down Cisco. And so he kind of knocks him across the room. So that conveniently makes Killer Frost no longer available, because she has to watch Cisco. And then they go have this fight, and really they didn't try anything that made sense. And it was just silly. And so we set up this climax where the Fiddler is about to be taken by DeVoe. And we basically get a recreation of the scene where Barry had to watch the Lucky Lady get her body taken, except this time it's Ralph watching. And it was so weird. I hated it because Barry just was like, just stop, man. We can't. Just watch it. I'm like, I couldn't tell who was saying just look at me. I'm like, but either way, I thought it was weird. I'm like, why are you telling her just look at you like that's going to stop anything? And so now Barry's just like, dude, stop. We can't. Just let it happen. And I'm like, that's not heroic. I'm like, Barry could have figured something out. And I still don't even understand what cage that was created to keep her in there. It was all over the place, man. I didn't like the episode. The main arc. The only things I did like about the episode, I liked the stuff on the periphery, the kind of B-list, the story arc B. And that's, first off, them confronting the issues with Ralph being, DeVoe. They confront it head on pretty well. It's just like, look, you can't come back and have your job. And I'm like, even if he was clear to charge, you can't have your job. And so they're like, look, people is conspiracy theorists. He was like, we live in a world where allegations is fact. Like, they hit on some real life stuff. I like that. And then they was like, dude, we live in a town, with all types of powers. People don't think that's actually DeVoe. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's what we all said. So I'm glad they saw that too. So I like that part. And then I like kind of the side stuff with Harry and Cecile, even though it was a little goofy. And this season, I said they lean full into the goof, and a lot of it I like, but some of it it's unnecessary because some episodes don't need it. But I thought it was cute. I thought it was a decent little side story they had with them. So that was the only real things I liked. I did like the callback to Savitar last year with the neural inhibitor and all that. But yeah, for the most part, really kind of sucky, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna give this episode a D. It was kind of a weak return back for the Flash, but next week seems kind of interesting, so I'm excited. I can't even really predict nothing for the future. This is all over the place. The neural inhibitor didn't work, but something tells me that they're going to come back to that as a way to stop DeVoe in the end. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Go comment section. Let me know what you thought. Thumbs up, subscribe, and if you heard it, it's official canon.